Today we're going to be looking at our social media template, which can be found in the internal folder, internal creative, under social media 2025 01 CM social post template. In the template folder, you can find, you guessed it, our template. So I'm going to double click to open this. So in Photoshop here, you'll see we have 20 different artboards. So we have up to 20 slides that we can do within one document. I can't see us going over that, but if we do need to, we can always create more documents here. First things first, I do not want to save over this master template. So I'm going to save as, Command-Shift-S. Let's not save over this. So I'm going to choose where I want to save it. It could be on your desktop. It could be in a working folder you have set up. Either way, we're not saving over. So save as. This one's on my desktop. I hit enter. We're good to go and make edits without compromising the original. Next thing, we want to set up our workspace. I want to be able to see these tools at the top in our control bar. These are our align tools. If you can't see them, make sure you are using the correct tool, which is the move tool. You're going to want to stay on this for the most part. So move tool, you'll see it. Sometimes you won't see the move tool at the top. You'll see this artboard tool, especially if like we've clicked around on like the title of one of our artboards. You'll see it hides our move tool. If we want to be able to find that again, click and hold, and then you can drag over and select. We're going to continue to set up our workspace. We want our move tool, we want our control bar, we want our layers panel, and we want our properties panel. To set that up, we're going to go into our Essentials default workspace. I'm just going to reset it so you would see how you would do that from scratch. So we have the tools we want at the top. We have our layers panel. We have our properties panel. We also have these like color swatches, gradients, and patterns. I don't need this, so I'm going to close that tab group using the hamburger menu. And then I'm just going to take this layers panel and I'm going to drag it until I see this blue bar, release, and now I have full height layer panel, full height properties panel. My setup is good to go. I'm going to next talk about navigating around our document here. As you can see, I'm way too far out to be able to make any like meaningful edits and be able to see them on this first artboard. So I need to be able to zoom in. You do that with Command or Control and then plus. So I can zoom in, Command or Control minus to zoom out. So minus zoom out, plus zoom in. And to be able to navigate around, you might be able to use your trackpad just by scrolling around using your gestures, or you can even go hold the space bar down and then left click and drag to navigate around. So we can pan around, we can navigate, we can zoom in, we can zoom out, and this way we can see all of our different artboards on our screen as we need to. Let's talk about the artboards themselves. So you can see this is labeled Artboard 1. And I have in my layers panel here, I have all of our artboards, including Artboard 1. To see the contents, I'm going to click this arrow to drop them down. And within this, you can see we have our yellow layer, which is our text overlay. It's actually a folder, so you can open it up and you can see it's actually comprised of two different portions. We have like the actual copy itself and then the box behind it. Orange layer is our photo frame, this rectangular portion with the X through it. We have our gradient line, which is right here. You probably won't be playing with that too much. We have our magenta folder here, which has different logo options so that we can change our logo based on our background color, which is also editable right here on this purple layer. Starting off, I want to look at how we can get an image into our photo frame. So super easy. I'm just going to open up my file finder or my file folder, find the image I want, and I'm going to click and drag into the photo frame. And you'll see that it has cropped to my photo frame, which is exactly what we're looking for. What we don't want is like this space here. So if an image is smaller than your image frame, it won't fill it up entirely, which will leave us with these spaces on the side. I'm going to make a separate video talking about how we can reposition and rescale our images so that you don't have to go looking for it within this 10-minute video. So we have our image. Happy with that for now. There will be another support video if you have further questions on that one. Let's look at our text. So with our text overlay, we can toggle this eyeball here to remove it entirely if we'd like, depending on the use case. And we can change the title or caption by finding the layer with the T on it on our specific artboard, and we're going to double click the T. You'll see that's highlighted my text. And I'm just going to change that to line stitch. And then to commit my text changes, I'm going to use this checkbox at the top. So checking that to commit my text changes. Next, we're going to look at background color. Typically, we're going to use black or we're going to use white. So to edit that, we're going to double click this icon. And we can click and drag within this box. Top left is going to be all white, and anything on the very bottom is going to be black. You can also choose something in between, but typically we're going to use black or white. Hit OK to enter that. You could also enter a hex code if you happen to know like the exact color you want. Like say we wanted to use our Cineplex yellow, FSCB05, enter. Now I've committed my background to that color. Can always change it again, but here we go. And this is a good example for like where we would want to change our logo. So right now we've lost the yellow portion of our logo amidst the yellow background. So we can open up our Cineplex Media logo options folder here. I can toggle the visibility of the black and yellow to make it invisible and add the all black by toggling that visibility, and we're good to go. I would say the decision-making matrix for choosing which logo to use would be we want the logo that's going to give the most amount of contrast while giving preference to versions with yellow. So if I were to make my background white, you could argue early, and you would be correct in arguing that black is the most contrast you can have against white. So that is the most visible. But my counter argument is it doesn't look as good as the black and yellow. So when we can use the yellow options, we want to use the yellow options. So we've added our image, we've changed our text box, changed our logo, changed our background color, and then we're just essentially rinsing and repeating on all of the artboards that we need to make up like the amount of slides that we need. I would hide artboard 1 if I was working on artboard 2 as to not get confused, because as you can see, if I have like multiple artboards open, my layers panel quickly gets a little overwhelming. If you do find yourself in this situation, you can always use Command or Control and hit the drop down menu on one of them, and it will close all of them. A little hotkey for you. So if I want to work on artboard 2, I would open up artboard 2, and then I can make all of those various changes that we discussed on the first option. So now let's get to exporting. So to export, I'm going to File, Export, Export As, or you can use the hotkeys that it says on your drop-down menu. By default, it is going to select all of your artboards. And in this case, we only want 2 of them. So I'm going to hit Select All again to deselect. And then I'm going to check artboard 1, and I'm going to check artboard 2. You'll notice you're not seeing it in the preview panel, and that's because it is not highlighted. So just click on the artboard to highlight it within the preview panel. We're going to want to stick to JPEG for our formatting because it's going to give us lower file sizes. And we want to adjust our quality to give us the lowest possible file size without compromising our image quality. So it's usually somewhere around like a 4 or a 5. But basically, you just want to look at your image, keep going lower and lower. If I go all the way to 1, you'll see his ear now looks like crap. So we don't want to use that. So that would be an example of too much. Let's just stick to 4 for now. Now, if you adjust 1, it's not going to adjust for all of your artboards, so you will have to go in and manually make those changes. Once we've made the changes, we can just hit export and choose where we want to export them to, hit open. Now, if I were to navigate to my desktop, I have my first artboard and I have my second artboard. And I can already tell I did too much compression on this. So 4 would even be too much. So you're going to want to stick to like at least 5 plus. I'll have additional support videos for scaling and positioning our images, as well as additional support videos for longer caption or movie title names where we may need multiple lines of text, how we can tackle that. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Peace.